there is no guarantee of the human species progressing any further technologically anytime soon. But we can still dream and speculate. What if our dream of exploring outside of our planet comes true? After all, it's the final frontier. There is nothing left to find on Earth, and the few of us curious souls will always want to expand outwards to new worlds and sights. So then, let us get an idea of what exploring these nearby worlds could be like, and what kind of sights, sounds, and sensations we would have with that first step onto new land. This one may cause a bit of confusion at first. Venus is an inhospitable hellscape, of course, but in its upper atmosphere, there may exist a zone with temperatures and pressures just right for human life. The logistics of getting there and staying there would be a nightmare, of course. And if we wanted to venture down to the surface, that too would be challenging, to say the least. The surface of Venus is a barren desert, but there could be some copper on there for us to mine, if we ever cared enough for it. Up in its clouds, it would be quite a peaceful setting, perhaps a good getaway resort type location for the rich. Mars is the next obvious choice for our little trip outside Earth. It's the least challenging rocky planet to land on, and isn't excessively hard to reach. That being said, it isn't exactly what you'd call a homely environment, with temperatures of -60 Celsius and a thin carbon dioxide rich atmosphere. We would at first be very limited in our habitation options. There is always the prospect of terraforming, with Mars being a good candidate for such ventures. Else, our only option would be to build habitable bubbles with their own oxygen and water supplies. We could slowly try to add to Mars's atmosphere and warm the planet up with some clever geoengineering. And of course, we can't forget our tiny distant friend, Titan. This moon of Saturn is probably the most promising candidate when the time comes to change our home planet. With a thick atmosphere to protect us from harmful radiation and abundant nitrogen for potential plant life, it would give us a massive advantage when we first move in. This would mean no need for pressurized habitats, stable temperatures, and a much easier atmosphere to work with when it comes to geoengineering. There is also evidence of Titan containing water ice and cryovolcanoes for heat and energy. There are some downsides, of course, as Titan has a relatively weak gravitational field, which could impact our health negatively, and the distance between it and Earth would mean that unless we develop very advanced spacecraft to ferry us quickly between Earth and Titan, moving there could take many, many decades.